Stop doing these 5 things now. If you're in your senior years, life-changing health tips for seniors. Are you truly living fully or just comfortably coasting through your golden years? Some routines feel harmless, even helpful. But what if they were quietly stealing your energy, dulling your joy, or distancing you from the people and purpose that matter most? As we age, the smallest habits begin to carry the biggest weight, and often, the ones we overlook are the ones that limit us the most. In today's video, we'll uncover 7 everyday behaviors that might be holding you back from the vibrant, independent life you deserve. But here's the power in that truth. Each one of them can be changed, starting right now. Let's begin with a habit that seems harmless, but might be putting your entire future at risk, one silent day at a time. Habit 1. Skipping regular health checkups. Upgraded script. Let me begin with something that could quietly put your life at risk. A habit that many seniors overlook until it's far too late. This might be the silent habit that has taken thousands of older adults by surprise, until the moment everything changes. Take Mr. James, a 72-year-old retired teacher. By all appearances, he was doing just fine, still walking every morning, still reading the newspaper with his morning coffee. But one quiet evening, he collapsed in his kitchen. A sudden stroke. At the hospital, the doctors found dangerously high blood pressure, something he never knew he had. His last full checkup? Nearly 7 years ago. Later, he told his daughter, "If only I'd done that checkup when you asked me to." Stories like James's are far more common than you might think. According to the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, as well as the World Health Organization, millions of serious conditions like heart disease, diabetes, and cancer go undetected each year, not because they're untreatable, but because they're not caught early enough. That's the heartbreaking truth. These illnesses often don't cause symptoms right away. They grow silently until it's no longer early and no longer easy to treat. Dr. Shah. Karen Mitchell, a board-certified geriatrician with over 25 years of experience, says this clearly. In older adults, prevention is power. A single routine checkup can give you the information you need to live a longer, healthier life. She recommends that seniors schedule a comprehensive health screening every 6 months. That includes tests for blood pressure, blood sugar, cholesterol, liver and kidney function, bone density, eye health, and screenings for conditions like colon or prostate cancer if applicable. These are not just checklists, they are lifelines. Think of your body like a car you've had for decades. You wouldn't drive across the country without checking the engine, would you? Then why let your body carry you through your golden years without stopping to check under the hood? So let me ask you, when was the last time you truly sat down with your doctor and looked at the full picture of your health? If this story or message speaks to you, please don't just scroll past. Give this video a thumbs up, and if you know someone who keeps putting off their checkups, share this video with them. Sometimes a single conversation can change someone's future. And if you haven't already, subscribe to Golden Wise Elders and hit the bell icon so you never miss practical, heartfelt advice designed to help you live longer, stronger, and with more confidence. We're here for you, every step of the way. Now that we've looked at your medical checkups, let's turn our attention to something even more basic, something so simple we often forget it altogether. It's not a medicine. It's not a supplement. It's water. Habit 2. Forgetting to drink water. Here's something incredibly simple, yet often overlooked, and it could be silently draining your energy, damaging your brain, and even putting your heart at risk. Not drinking enough water. It sounds minor, doesn't it? After all, when we were younger, thirst came naturally. We drank when we needed to. But aging changes how our bodies work. As we grow older, our sense of thirst weakens. We may not feel thirsty, even when our bodies are quietly becoming dehydrated. And unfortunately, the consequences of chronic dehydration in seniors are far more serious than many realize. Let me tell you about Ruth, an 80-year-old grandmother from Ohio. She had been feeling foggy, more forgetful than usual. Some days, she'd wake up with headaches or feel dizzy for no clear reason. Her daughter assumed it was early dementia, but after a simple visit to the doctor, they discovered that Ruth was severely dehydrated. Once she started drinking more water daily, her memory improved, her energy came back, and those strange symptoms began to fade. All from something as basic as hydration. And Ruth is not alone. A recent study from Harvard University found that over 70% of people aged 65 and older live in a state of mild to moderate dehydration, often without even realizing it. That's not just a statistic. It's a silent epidemic. When your body lacks water, every part of you suffers. Your blood thickens, making it harder for your heart to pump. Your brain function slows, leading to forgetfulness and poor focus. Your digestion becomes sluggish, increasing the risk of constipation. Your bones and joints feel stiffer, and in the worst cases, dehydration can even contribute to strokes, falls, and hospitalization. So why does this happen so often? Because no one teaches us that as we age, water is no longer optional. It's essential. It's not just about avoiding thirst. It's about preserving memory, energy, and even independence. Dr. Elaine Parker, a nutrition and aging specialist, recommends that older adults aim for 6 to 8 cups of water a day. That can include warm herbal teas, broths, or diluted fruit-infused water for variety, but plain, clean water should always be the foundation. She also suggests setting reminders on your phone, using a large marked water bottle, or simply pairing water with daily routines, like drinking a glass before each meal or medication. Let me ask you something. Have you had a full glass of water today? Not coffee, not juice, just water? And if you knew that drinking a little more water each day could improve your memory, boost your energy, and reduce your risk of serious illness, would you start today? If this message has you thinking, please take a second to give this video a like. And if you know someone, maybe a parent, a friend, a neighbor, who might be forgetting to hydrate, share this with them. You could be doing more than reminding them to drink water. You might be protecting their quality of life. And if you're new here, don't forget to subscribe to Golden Wise Elders. Every week we bring you practical, science-backed insights to help you thrive in your golden years. Because aging should never mean fading. It should mean rising with wisdom and strength. So your body is hydrated. Great. But what about movement? What about the strength that keeps you standing, walking, and living on your own terms? This next habit often fades quietly until your independence fades with it. Habit 3. Skipping physical activity. Now that we've talked about hydration, let's move to something just as vital, but often even more neglected: movement. It's easy to tell ourselves, I'm too tired today, or my joints hurt, I'll skip the walk this time. Sometimes it's not even a decision. Life simply slows down as we age, and before we know it, our days become quieter and stiller. But stillness, though it may feel like rest, can also become silent decline. Let me share the story of Edna, a spirited 75-year-old who once danced in her kitchen every Sunday morning. After a fall 2 winters ago, she became fearful of moving too much. She stopped going for walks, then stopped gardening. Soon she found herself short of breath walking across her living room. What changed? Her world didn't. Her muscles did. Without realizing it, her strength faded, her balance weakened, and her confidence slowly disappeared. And Edna is not alone. According to the National Institute on Aging, regular movement, even something as simple as 20 to 30 minutes of walking per day, can cut your risk of fractures in half, boost your memory, improve your mood, and even help you sleep better. Physical activity is not just about muscles. It's about preserving the freedom to live on your own terms. You see, movement is medicine. And unlike pills, it's free, low risk, and always available. It doesn't have to be intense. You don't need a gym membership or expensive equipment. You don't need to run a marathon. You just need to move gently, consistently, with love for your body. Try a morning walk around the block, gentle chair yoga, Tai Chi in the backyard, even standing up and stretching during TV commercials. Every bit counts. Every step you take says to your body, I still care. I'm still here. Now I want to ask you, if all it took was 10 minutes a day to feel stronger, more stable, and more alive, would you take that first step today? If that answer is yes or even maybe, you've already started. And if this message moved you, please share this video with someone you love. Sometimes the best gift we can give others is the nudge to take care of themselves again. Click the like button if you believe movement matters. And don't forget to subscribe to Golden Wise Elders, where every week we bring you encouragement, expert guidance, and real tools to live your later years with pride, purpose, and power, because you're not done yet, not even close. Taking care of your body is essential. But what about your heart? After all, even the strongest legs can feel heavy when they walk through life alone. Habit 4. Withdrawing from social connection. We've talked about movement, the body's way of staying strong. But what about the heart? What keeps the soul strong, especially as we age? The answer is connection. Yet many older adults slowly start to pull away, not because they want to, but because life nudges them into silence. Children move away. Friends pass on. Our bodies change. We feel a little more tired, a little more unsure, and sometimes a little less seen. It often starts subtly. We cancel lunch plans. We stop returning calls. Before we know it, A few quiet days turn into weeks, and isolation sets in like a slow fog. Let me tell you about Walter, a 79-year-old former electrician. After losing his wife, he rarely left his house. He stopped answering the phone. When his grandson finally visited, he found Walter had lost nearly 15 pounds and couldn't remember simple things, like how to set the microwave. It wasn't illness, it wasn't age, it was loneliness, and it was stealing his health day by day. This isn't just emotional, it's biological. According to the American Geriatric Society, seniors who experience social isolation are 60% more likely to develop cognitive decline and memory loss. Chronic loneliness also weakens the immune system, increases inflammation, and raises the risk of depression and even premature death. But here's the hopeful part. Connection doesn't have to be complicated. You don't need to attend big events or force conversations. A 5-minute call to an old friend, a coffee with a neighbor, volunteering once a week at your church or local library, even joining a book club online or saying hello to someone at the grocery store. These tiny moments matter. They say to the world and to yourself, I still belong. If you've been feeling more distant lately, I want to gently ask you, have you had a meaningful conversation with someone today? Someone who listened, not just heard you, but really saw you. If not, maybe today is the perfect day to start again. And if you believe that friendship, laughter, and shared stories are the best medicine for aging, then leave us a comment that says, I still connect. Let's show each other that we're not alone, that we are still here and still matter. Click the like button if this speaks to your heart and share it with someone you care about, especially someone who might be drifting into silence without realizing it. And of course, don't forget to subscribe to Golden Wise Elders, where we speak to your experience, honor your wisdom, and remind you every week, you are never too old to reconnect. With others, with joy, and with yourself. When connection feeds your heart, there's one more thing that completes the cycle of healing. Rest. Not just any rest, but the kind that renews your mind, restores your body, and calms your spirit. Habit 5. Neglecting sleep. After all the conversations, the movement, and the quiet moments of connection, there's something else your body desperately needs, even if you don't talk about it much. Rest. Real healing, peaceful sleep. And yet sleep is often the first thing we sacrifice and the last thing we protect. Many older adults struggle with sleep but think it's just part of getting old. But that's not entirely true. While sleep patterns can shift as we age, poor sleep is not inevitable and it should never be ignored. Let me tell you about Lillian, a 70-year-old widow from Arizona. For months, she felt anxious during the day and exhausted by noon. Her doctor had prescribed medications, but nothing seemed to help. Then one evening, her daughter visited and noticed Lillian was still watching TV at 1:00 a.m., scrolling on her tablet under the covers. When they finally took a step back and restructured her sleep routine, turning off screens, having tea at night, reading a book, dimming the lights, everything changed. Within 2 weeks, Lillian began to smile again. She remembered things better. Her blood pressure even improved. Sleep isn't just downtime, it's the body's reset button. When you sleep well, your immune system strengthens, your brain clears out waste, and your emotions become more balanced. When you don't, everything begins to unravel. According to the National Sleep Foundation, adults over 65 should get between 7 and 8 hours of sleep every night. Yet nearly 40% aren't getting enough, and the long-term effects are profound. Weakened immunity, increased risk of anxiety and depression, high blood pressure, diabetes, and even memory problems. So if you've been tossing and turning, waking up tired, or depending on naps just to get through the day, it's time to rethink the way you treat your rest. You deserve to sleep well, not just to survive, but to heal, to restore, and to wake up with clarity and strength. Some simple changes can make all the difference. Go to bed at the same time each night. Turn off bright screens at least an hour before sleep. Take a warm shower or enjoy calming herbal tea. Read a few pages of a book, not the news, not emails, just something gentle, and most importantly, create a bedtime routine that tells your body it's safe to let go now. So let me ask you, have you been sleeping well lately? And have you noticed how a single good night's sleep can lift your spirit and clear your mind the next morning? If you're nodding yes, or even if you're quietly whispering no, then this moment is your invitation to begin again. If this part of the video resonates with you, give it a thumbs up. And more importantly, share it with someone who might be silently struggling each night. A well-rested friend is a healthier, happier one, And don't forget to subscribe to Golden Wise's Elders so you can receive more gentle, life-giving reminders each week to help you live longer, feel stronger, and rest deeper. Because sleep isn't selfish, it's self-love. And you, my friend, absolutely deserve that. A well-rested body can do wonders, but your mind needs attention too. Because when we stop feeding our thoughts, our memories, and our curiosity, everything begins to dim. Habit 6. Neglecting brain health. After a good night's rest, your body may feel recharged, but what about your mind? In the quiet of retirement, when routines become slower and the demands of work or parenting have faded, it's easy to stop challenging your brain. But when mental activity fades, so does mental sharpness. And over time, that can change everything. Let me tell you about Bernard, a retired mechanic from Wisconsin. After his wife passed away, he stopped reading the newspaper. He no longer fixed things in the garage. Days began to blend together. TV in the background, meals at the same time, little else. His daughter noticed he was forgetting simple words, misplacing items, struggling to follow conversations. When they visited a doctor, the early signs of cognitive decline were clear. But when Bernard started journaling each morning, playing crossword puzzles in the afternoon, and even joined a small chess group at the library, something remarkable happened. His memory improved, and more importantly, his confidence came back. His world, once foggy, began to brighten again. You see, the brain is like a muscle. Use it or lose it. According to the Alzheimer's Association, older adults who engage in daily brain stimulation activities can reduce their risk of memory loss by up to 35%. That's a powerful number. And even more powerful, these activities don't require degrees or textbooks, just curiosity and courage to try something new. You might learn a new recipe, try a word puzzle, practice a few phrases in another language, or simply call a friend and talk about something you haven't thought about in years. Every time you stretch your mind, even a little, you build new connections inside your brain, and those connections keep you sharp, centered, and in control. Think of your brain like a garden. It needs to be watered, tended, and occasionally challenged in order to grow. When neglected, it begins to fade. But when nurtured with curiosity, it flourishes. So let me ask you, when was the last time you tried something new? Something that made you think, something that made you smile, something that reminded you you're still growing, still learning, still wonderfully alive. If that question stirred something in you, take a moment to comment below and share your favorite way to keep your brain active. Whether it's reading, journaling, painting, or playing cards, we'd love to hear it. And you might inspire someone else too. If this part resonated with you, please give the video a thumbs up and share it with someone who may need a gentle reminder. Your mind matters. And don't forget to subscribe to Golden Wise Elders, where each week we help you stay sharp, strong, and fully alive, not just in body, but in heart and mind, because a growing brain is a living brain, and you, my friend, are far from done growing. Habit 7. Dwelling on regret. You've strengthened your body, you've stretched your mind, but now we come to something far quieter and far heavier. Now that we've nurtured the body and the brain, there's one final weight to talk about, the one that doesn't live in your muscles or your mind, but deep in your heart. It's the quiet burden of regret, the weight of regret. For many in their later years, the past becomes a frequent companion. Sometimes it visits gently, memories of love, of laughter, of family, but other times it arrives as a shadow, reminding us of the mistakes we made, the chances we missed, or the words we wish we'd said. I once met Helen, a wise, kind-hearted 81-year-old who had raised 5 children. She told me, I spent 10 years of my retirement regretting that I never went back to school. Every day I thought about what I didn't do, and every day I felt smaller because of it. But then one morning, Helen made a choice. She didn't go back to college, but she started writing stories, her stories. She joined a writing group at her library, made new friends, and began sharing the wisdom she had once buried beneath shame. She told me, regret only kept its power when I kept it silent. Once I gave it a voice, I found freedom. Regret can be a heavy chain, but you don't have to wear it forever. According to the Mayo Clinic, actively practicing forgiveness, both toward others and yourself, can lead to lower blood pressure, better sleep, reduced stress levels, and a greater sense of inner peace. In short, letting go of what was can help you heal what is. The past cannot be rewritten, but the story you tell yourself about it, that can change, starting today. One of the most powerful things you can do is practice gratitude, not just for what went right, but for what taught you something, even if it came through pain. Another healing practice? Write a letter to your past self, or to someone you've held anger toward. You don't have to send it. Just let the words out. Let your heart exhale. And if meditation or prayer speaks to you, use that stillness to create space for grace, for healing, for peace. So let me ask you, gently and honestly, if you could start one thing over, what would it be? Not to punish yourself, but to understand yourself better. To begin again with compassion. If that question opens something inside you, I invite you to share a lesson you've learned in the comments below. You never know who may need to hear your words and how your story could help someone else begin again. If this final message touched your heart, give this video a like and share it with someone who may be silently holding on to regret. And if you haven't already, subscribe to Golden Wise Elders, where each week we don't just talk about aging, we talk about living fully, bravely, beautifully, because your story isn't over, not yet, not today. So what have we really talked about today? We've uncovered 7 everyday habits that may seem small, but can quietly shape the course of your health, your happiness, and your future. From forgetting to move your body, to letting regrets define your days. Each of these choices matters, but here's the beautiful truth. You can choose differently, starting now. You can give your brain a reason to grow. You can give your heart space to connect. You can give your body the love it has long deserved, because aging isn't the end. It's a turning point, a time to live a little slower, but a lot deeper, to strip away the noise and focus on what truly brings you meaning, purpose, and peace. And you don't have to change everything at once. Even letting go of one harmful habit today is already a step toward the freedom you've earned, a freedom filled with gratitude, clarity, and joy. And so as we wrap up, I'd like to gently ask you, what's the one small thing you'll do differently after watching this video? And if something here touched your heart, even just a little, I'd be honored if you'd share it with someone you care about. Click the like button if this message resonated with you. Subscribe to Golden Wise Elders and hit the bell icon so you won't miss the next time we sit down together, just like this. And in the comments, tell us what's one lesson you've learned in life that you think everyone should hear. Let's fill this space with wisdom, hope, and connection, because we're not just growing older, we're growing wiser. And you don't have to walk this road alone. We're walking it with you.